Story 1. Am I the a-hole for not telling my cousin's girlfriend I was on my period? To preface this, me, 23 female, and my cousin, 25 male, have always been really close. We're both only children and grew up 3 houses down from each other. When we were younger, we started this tradition of having movie marathons once a month. We're both huge nerds. Today, we live about an hour away from each other in different cities, but we've kept up with our tradition. We took turns holding a movie marathon day/night, and this time it was my cousin's turn to host it. My cousin lives in a 3-room apartment with his girlfriend, 26 female, and I've always gotten along with her as far as I'm aware. This would be the first time she was home during one of our marathons, but I didn't mind if she joined us. Like I said, I thought we were good. It was that time of the month for me, but I didn't think much about it. I had pads with me, and I had my own bedding at my cousin's place, as well as a towel to sleep on in case of an accident. I usually sleep on the couch in my cousin's office when I visit, so no big deal. The day went great. We had decided to watch some Star Trek, and his girlfriend would check on us from time to time, but stated that she wasn't a fan of sci-fi. The morning after, I was woken up by yelling and quickly got up to see what was going on. Turns out the girlfriend had found one of my used pads in the bathroom trash can, and she wasn't happy about it. She came at me quite aggressively and asked why I hadn't told her that I was on my period and how gross it was that I just threw my pads in the trash. Now, I'm not the most zen person, so I did raise my voice at her, asked her what the F she was on about, and why it was such a big deal. She started crying, and even though my cousin didn't ask me to, I felt I should leave. Took an early train home, and now I'm sitting in my apartment getting bombarded by messages. I've gotten some harsh texts from the girlfriend's friends, and even a couple of family members telling me I should have told her I was on my period, and I was an a-hole for yelling at her and making her cry. I've been known to be pretty ignorant when it comes to social cues and norms, so I might be completely wrong in this, but I wanted to get some opinions from some strangers on the internet before I do any apologizing. So, am I the a-hole? Well, I'm certainly not an expert to be asking about this, but no? As far as I know, no? Like, what's the big deal? It's a period pad. Who cares? I mean, I grew up in a house with, a mom and 2 sisters and all that stuff, and I just exist in society with human beings that have had periods. You put them in the trash. Why is there yelling and screaming about this? Why should you have to go in and be like, by the way, what the hell? That seems ridiculous. Like, but I am genuinely curious. Folks in the comment, is there something that I am also missing in this? Because I see no conceivable way why this person would be the a-hole. Like, you should not have to, like, when you arrive somewhere, be like, by the way, I will be putting bloody hygiene products into your trash. Heaven forbid. Where would you like me to put them otherwise? Shall I go in the alley? Like, what the hell? Story 2. Greedy owner tries to rip off my friend, ends up paying him double. My first job out of college was for a local TV station. The owner was, and still is, the worst human being I've ever met. This guy has money, but he will cheat and lie anything to get out of paying his bills. When I started working there, the owner had just signed a contract with DirecTV to become part of their broadcast package. Since they were at the time purely a local TV station, this meant that we had about 2 months to upgrade our system so that we could start broadcasting to DirecTV customers in the entire Bay Area. Every day that we failed to do this past the deadline means that the owner would suffer a penalty per the contract. Not knowing about how any of this works, the owner hired a friend of mine to come in as a freelance consultant. My friend told him that for about $15,000 US, he can get a system that will automate the entire process, which, of course, this guy didn't want to pay. He tasked my friend with finding a cheaper way, around half, and to pay for all the hardware up front and get reimbursed later. Knowing what a piece of crap this guy is, I warned my friend not to front the money because he wouldn't get paid back. The guy just smiled and said, "Watch me." So he made it work. We went live on schedule and the owner was happy. Then my friend went in and presented the guy with the bill. Immediately, the usual excuses start. "Oh, I'm a little short this month. Can I pay you later?" etc., etc. Then my friend pulled out the trump card. Not only did my friend threaten to take all the equipment back and to take the station off the air, he revealed that in order to get the uplink working for cheap, someone had to come in every day and code the broadcast manually. It's not a terribly complicated procedure, takes less than 5 minutes, but of course no one else at the station knows how to do it but him. So either the owner can pay him what he's owed plus a $2,000 per month consulting fee, or the station goes dark and he starts paying the penalty to DirecTV. The effer paid. Fast. So instead of $15,000, he ended up shelling out more than double that amount as my friend lapped up his $2,000 a month fee for close to a year before he felt bad and finally taught someone there how to do it. Moral of the story, only thinking about short-term gain will always cost you more in the long run. Yeah, I can understand, someone who's owning or running a business, you want to save money where you can, and sometimes you gotta be shrewd and make little deals with folks where it's like, can you do it for cheap or this or that? Like, a good business owner knows how to save the company money, but not in a greedy, sleazy way. And once you get to the point where it's like, oh, you did all the work? Well, I'm kind of short this month, so I'll pay you later. Then you're just going from being shrewd to being rude. That's my little catch, whatever. Yeah, no, I don't blame your friend at all for setting a thing up like this, where it's like, hey, fine, you want all this stuff done for cheap, and then you're gonna try and rip me off? Alrighty then, sure. And yeah, more power to him. That's and the fact that, you know what, at the end he did teach someone and gave up that $2,000 a month. God, what would any of you do to have $2,000 a month for going in once a month to just enter in whatever it was? I mean, damn, that's a dream job. And to give that up, you gotta be a pretty decent person. Decent enough to get away with pulling that scam in the first place, at least. Story 3. Today I effed up by peeing all over myself at work. This just happened a few hours ago, and it may not be my worst F-up ever, but I still feel like a grade A dumb butt because of it. So I work in a warehouse, and it's been several hours into my 8-hour shift when I had to go use the restroom. I thought I could wait till the end of the shift, but I'd been holding it for an hour and could feel the floodgates about to burst. I walked to the men's room, went into one of the stalls, and proceeded to relieve myself. It had also been about 2 hours since my last smoke break, so I took my vape out of my pocket and took a small hit. So there I was, my D in my left hand as I hit my vape with my right, and I thought to myself, man, it would suck if I dropped my vape in the toilet, wouldn't it? Big mistake. Right as I thought that, my vape slipped out of my hand and toward the toilet bowl while I was in midstream. I panicked and let go of my D and bent forward trying to catch it in my left hand, but all I ended up doing was smacking it into the air and getting pee everywhere in the stall. My vape hit the toilet tank and skidded across the floor into the neighboring stall while I surveyed the damage. I had peed all over the floor and, even worse, a good chunk of the lower portion of my t-shirt and my pants. Frantically, I grabbed handfuls of toilet paper and began trying to soak up the pee from my clothes. Thankfully, I was wearing a black shirt and a dark green pair of cargo pants, so once I got them mostly dry, it wasn't too obvious. What was even luckier was I was the only one in the bathroom at the time. After cleaning myself up as best I could, I washed my hands, picked up my dropped vape and hucked it in the trash, and did the walk of shame back to my desk. I only passed maybe 2 or 3 people on the way back, and I don't think they noticed. When I got back to my desk, I threw on my hoodie, and it was just long enough to cover the wet spots on my pants till the shift ended. Folks, I'm going to give you a little piece of advice because sometimes no matter how careful, or in this case, not careful, you are, eventually you're going to mess up some clothes for work. And what should always be in your car, always, 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 is a nice, Ziploc sealed bag with a spare set of clothes. They're clothes that you don't normally want to wear, the kind of clothes that you look at in your closet and you never take off the hanger. But they're good for backups. You don't normally want to wear them, but if you need to, you run out there, change into them, and you're fine. Just have a spare set of clothes. And I recommend the Ziploc bag, or if you have those little vacuum bags or something, do that because your car has a scent, and if your clothes are in there for 6 months, you don't want to be taking them out and they smell like your car and whatever crap you've been putting in there. But also, why do you feel the need to double fist while you're standing and peeing? If you're so intent on hitting your vape while you pee, just sit down and pee. Come on, this isn't that hard. Story 4. Am I the a-hole for telling my dad to F off because he won't send me money? Please hear me out. I've had enough of my father and narcissistic mother who've always treated me like they were doing me a favor. Long story short, my dad is a doctor and my mom retired in 2004 when me and my younger sister were adopted. I was 4 years old, I was abused, and I couldn't accept that someone was trying to be my mom, so my adoptive mother rejected me and my younger sister, her princess. We had a lot of money growing up, and my parents set up a savings account for my younger sister. She had a first home and lump sum payment, etc. My mom wouldn't let my dad make me one because she always said I'd end up in jail. Never been. So my sister got $500,000 and I got zero. I was taken away from my parents when I was 16 because my mom, who was an alcoholic at the time, decided she wanted my phone. I had a job, paid the rent bills all by myself because my mother withheld food and only the bare necessities / I was too scared to ask for it. I didn't feel safe giving her my phone because of her behavior, so I refused and she called the police and started assaulting me, and the police assaulted my dad, helping my mom hurt me. I've been on my own since then. I couldn't go do my levels because I needed the money, so I went straight to work, and I only have GCS, which I didn't hear from them until I was 18. Here and there, my dad would give me money and act like he was amazing. He had to hide it from his mom. They have taken my sister and her boyfriend on holidays and concerts and loads of expensive crap like that. She still lives at home. I rent and live a normal life, but it's expensive and my credit is ruined. My husband works, I just had a baby, so I'm sick of being made to feel like he's doing me a huge favor by helping me when I see all the pictures of crap he gets up to. With me, it's always a burden and I've had enough. Am I the a-hole for telling him to F off and I'm done trying to have a relationship? So, I don't know both sides, I don't know everything in the situation, but I think you're perfectly within your right. I am always going to side with, you know what, if your parents aren't treating you equally with siblings and you've tried to make efforts but they just aren't going to help out, then yeah, you don't have to have a relationship with them, no matter what they've done for you in the past. And the fact that they apparently gave your sister like $500,000 for a home and haven't helped you at all, like, that is such a heavy weight of favoritism. Like, yeah, how are you not supposed to take that poorly? So, yeah, I think you would be better off just, making something of yourself and finding your own ways to be happy, because it does not sound like your parents are going to help you with that. And I'm sorry. Story 5. My parents saw my fiancé's photo on a dating app and accused him of cheating. My fiancé is being used as a catfish on an app that he's never even heard of and doesn't even have an account with them either. We looked together. My mom keeps adding me and my other mom to a group chat, and they're saying crap like, "I know you can't see without your glasses, but it's clear he's cheating. You must has little to no self-respect if you're staying with him." They also have called him my boyfriend since even after we've been engaged for a year. I'm really thinking about blocking them because they won't drop it even after we've proved he's innocent. I just want to cry because it's so hard for me to block them without blocking everyone else they know on Facebook or Instagram, because then their friends will accuse me of being mean or abandoning them. Then also just start telling their friends exactly what they're doing and how it's affecting you, and let their friends go back to them and tell them that just how mean they're being, how unreasonable. Like, if you've absolutely proven that he is innocent and they're still not listening to that, block them. Block them and just say, you know what, until you're going to be reasonable human beings, I don't want to talk to you. And the moment that other family and friends come to you, show them the receipts and be like, this is what they're doing. They're trying to destroy my relationship. I have proven it, and they are still being like this. And hopefully everyone's going to turn back to them and be like, hey, stop being a-holes, because that's what they're being. Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.